Almost every day, Russians oppose the war. They express their disagreement with the Kremlin's actions in a variety of ways. Some set fire to registration and enlistment offices, such as a married couple in Podolsk. A 70-year-old man had brought a canister of gasoline, soaked a rack with it, set it on fire and placed it on the window. His 76-year-old wife was filming all that on video. Others go to single pickets.
Approximately 20,000 people have been detained at anti-war protests this year, and the number of criminal cases is approaching 400. From the message in a Telegram channel, Department 1.
Despite the repressive policies of the Kremlin, citizens continue to oppose Russian military aggression. So the ex-head of the Omsk Alliance of Doctors, Olga Belova, didn't just lose her job, but had a criminal case opened against her for fakes about the Russian army. The woman actively publishes anti-war posts and also goes to single pickets. There are more and more Russians who have left or are planning to leave Russia.
The Propaganda and Russian Public Opinion Research Center's opinion that a significant number of Russians approve of the war and are loyal to Putin is refuted by the facts. All this year, risking their health and freedom, tens or thousands of citizens protested in word and deed against the war, and hundreds of thousands who disagreed with it left Russia. The number of newly issued foreign passports has increased by a third, from 3.5 million to 4.8 million in 11 months. From the message in a Telegram channel, we can explain.
Sociologists are sure that the growth of protests in Russia is connected with society's fatigue from the constant pressure of the Kremlin regime.
I am sure that those, to put it mildly, unexpected, sharp, aggressive events will definitely weaken, and there will be a turn for the better next year.
According to Russian-conducted polls, 70% of Russians support the war unleashed by their state against Ukraine. But this data cannot be called objective, since the majority of Russian citizens do not answer truthfully.
People can be fined for anything, even for statements that are regarded as anti-war, which are regarded as objectionable to the Russian government. We even saw cases when a person had written the word special operation but took it in quotation marks, so he was charged with not respecting this term, which means he speaks out against the actions of the Russian military in Ukraine.
The Kremlin fears anti-war sentiment, as the frustration of Russians with the so-called special operation grows. To prevent this, the regime tightens the legislation. On the eve of the new year, Putin signed a law that prohibits rallies near government buildings, universities, schools, hospitals, churches, and a number of other objects. At the same time, it is expected that the second wave of mobilization will begin in Russia in 2023. Political scientists are sure, and this can lead to a new, more furious wave of protests. Reported by Paweł Sztelmach, Julia Granovska, UATV News.